you do. And I think that's the key. And if you have a dream, don't give up on it. Try to make it work. And if you have the talent, and talent is very important.
Hola, Patrick.
Hey, buenos dias.
Buenas noches, Patrick. I'm Andres.
Buenas noches. Yes.
I will be
Um,
your translator. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm at Warner Brothers right now.
Oh man, it's
So
amazing.
there's a big event. This
Master.
is this is a young new star, Loki.
Hey,
Hi.
hi man.
How are you?
So, good. So it's like really cool. I'm kind of showing you around a little bit. Um, there you go. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for giving us that tour. It's the first time in this channel that we saw these studios, and I will be your translator. I will tell John. John, obviamente, le
Okay,
agradecí
terrific. Great, great.
por ese tour tan increíble que nos está dando una primera vez y nada, que está listo.
I'm
Okay.
going to go somewhere where it's a little bit more quiet as we walk a little bit more in the studio.
Oh,
How are you?
we are honored. We are fine. Don't worry. Igual, seeing that view is amazing for us. And no, man, I will let you with John and his questions.
Okay,
Okay.
Pierre. Es una gran oportunidad, gracias. Yo quisiera recordarte, la primera vez que vi tu trabajo fue, bueno, cuando estaba chico. Yo me acuerdo que era The Concert, que era una historia de Los Ángeles de vísperas con Jennifer Day. ¿Qué recuerdos te trae esa primera producción?
Let's go early in your career, back in 2007. What are your memories with the concert?
I moved to Los Angeles when I was about 15. So I took a bus from Montreal. So I was an illegal immigrant and I didn't speak English because I was French and I didn't have too much money at the time. And I decided to take a bus. It took me about 4 days from Montreal. And that's what happened.
Oh, man.
It was
And
very difficult at the beginning. It was the mid 80s. And a lot of kids my age were runaways and drugs and, prostitution and all this stuff. And I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I never did. So I had to kind of maneuver myself into that. And I knew that I had to meet people, make contacts, because it's just that kind of business. So that's what I did.
Pierre, además, ¿sabe qué es lo más importante? Que la verdad no solo en The Concert, sino también en Sunshine Girl, que me pareció algo interesante, como una nueva apuesta que aquel entonces representaba el rol de la mujer como alguien libre. Entonces, ¿qué opinión tienes sobre el poder producir temática para el sexo femenino, que sean las protagonistas, que has apoyado siempre eso?
what are your vision? Of course, talking about not only from Sunshine Girl, but your whole career with the showing this empowerment of the women, these productions with women showing their power, their vision. Tell us more.
So basically, after I met all the right people, started working in the city, I did different things. I worked in music for a long time. I got a Grammy nomination for an album I produced called A Christmas That Almost Wasn't, which stars like John Lithgow, Innocent, Take Five, Billy Crawford, who's a big, huge star in France and in the Philippines, Innocent, Trina McGee Davis. I wrote a few books that were cool. I was an assistant, an intern for Jason Bateman. You probably know him from Ozark. And at the time, he had a show called The Hogan's Family. And, I worked in New York for 10 years in theater and came back here and started doing this talent agency and working with new clients and kind of doing that. As you can see, a little bit of those people in the background. I'm walking through Warner Brothers, so just so you know, as I'm doing this.
Don't worry, that I said, that view and that wall is great for channel.
Yeah, so you have like a nice view of what's going on here.
Yes, John, continúa.
And I've worked with some great Spanish actors. We have Maximilian Acevedo. He's from Cuba originally, and he had a #1 movie on Netflix called The Babysitter Killer Queen with Judah Lewis and Bella Thorne, King Bash. And now he just finished a series called Welcome to Chippendales with Kumail Jamali, Juliette Lewis, and that's going to come out in November on Hulu. And he's working on a different project. I have another actor named Anthony C. Garcia. He's going to be in Babylon with Brad Pitt, December 25th. So that's great. You know, so we had Irene Sue. She had a movie on Netflix called Over the Moon. It got an Oscar nomination a couple of years ago.
The animated one.
Hmm?
The animated movie about
The animated, yes. Over the Moon.
Beautiful.
Nice, right?
Yes,
yeah,
I
Glenn
love that
Keys
movie.
put that together. And Irene Sue, our actress, she plays the grandmother.
Yes.
And she's a very famous Asian actress. So it's good.
Wow. By the way, give a hi to Maximilian. Yes, in fact, I really wanted to know more about that sequel from The Babysitter because I enjoyed the first one from Maggi. It's one of my favorites, but I will translate that part. John, obviamente,
It's great.
Obviamente, ahí tú oíste de las personas, una persona que va a estar en Babylon con Brad Pitt, pero yo no sabía. En la agencia de él también está. A mí me fascina esa película, la que hacía de la abuelita en Over the Moon, la película animada que fue nominada al Oscar, la de la niña que quería viajar a la luna.
Además, qué bueno que él esté también involucrado un poco en estos proyectos. Lo de Babylon, pues también lo esperamos, que sabemos, pero pregúntale sobre lo que debías decirle, sobre la historia, que él es conocedor de todo.
Yes, there is something that struck me. This question is from myself about your knowledge and that vibe that you gave about the old Hollywood. I read that you're a person that really knows about Doris Day. Tell us about what inspired you, struck you about these golden days of Hollywood.
Yeah, you know, when I was a little kid, I fell in love with Doris Day. And I grew up in the hospital. I was very sick. And then when I got better, I wanted to move to LA. But Doris Day, I fell in love with her when I was a kid. And of course, that song, Que Sera, Sera, Perhaps, like her Latin for Lover album is great. And she's an amazing actress. And I got to know her. And she gave me a dog. And we did some interviews. And I did some books about her. And she was very special. And knowing her in real life was great, was amazing. And here at Warner Brothers, where we're at right now, this is where she signed her first contract, where she made movies for 7 years. She made her first movie here on this studio at Warner Brothers. The first movie she made was Romance on the High Seas. And she didn't know. She never made a movie. She was the star of it. She thought that she was going to be on a ship because it was on a cruise. So she came to the studio with her suitcases, getting ready to go on a boat. And it was at stage 9 on Warner Brothers. So, and if you look at all the studios here, you have the names of the movies that were made, and a lot of her movies are here. So it's great.
That was beautiful. I didn't know what that part.
And she gave me a dog, which was nice. I had the dog for 10 years. So it gave me an excuse to go visit her in Carmel. And that was nice. That was always nice. Everybody that knows me knows that I love Doris Day.
And we are glad that you talk about that. By the way, I feel happy because I was raised by my grandmother. And yes, that version of Perhaps is my favorite with the older one that did Nat King Cole. I love boleros and I love those ages. And Que Sera, Sera, beautiful. I will translate. Jhon.
That's great.
Doris Day le regaló un perrito.
Wow.
Él tuvo la suerte de conocerla y es porque él conoció sobre ella cuando él estuvo en su infancia en el hospital.
Maravilloso. Dos últimas preguntas y culminamos esta bella entrevista. Yo te quiero preguntar sobre un guión que tú hiciste para un cortometraje. Ahí se lo pasaré a Andrés. Y que la verdad me gusta el concepto del amor. Entonces yo te pregunto, ¿qué ha significado mucho como que la evolución del amor a través de tus producciones, de esta contribución allá, pues no solo en Hollywood, sino también en tu arte?
Y hay que entender que él es escritor. Tell us more about, yes, your screenplay, your script, and how do you see the love, and in the production, Le Grand Voyage de Louis and Anael. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yeah, well, the Grand Voyage was a script that I wrote for a short film, and it was just a really cool thing to do with two of my clients at the time, and it won some short film contests and everything. And I'm involved with a few things that I produced. Usually, they come to us once they're all financed and everything. It's always a cool thing to do. We got a few projects in the works. You never know how these things are going to turn out, but it's a fun thing to do. And the thing is, I like to do it because I'm an agent first, and I want my actors to work. So if I can produce and do things and make sure my actors are in it, then it's terrific.
Thank you. Now comes the final question, Jhon. Tú sabes que...
Okay, the final questions. My
Ok,
goodness.
bueno, ya que todo esto ha sido pues una gran importancia sobre lo que has contribuido en el cine, en las producciones, resaltando el gran parte del poder femenino, yo quiero preguntarte cuáles serán tus próximos proyectos y por supuesto un mensaje que quieras enviarle a los cineastas que están comenzando y que varios le han gustado tu trabajo, contribuyendo a programas de televisión. Un consejo a nosotros, si quieres.
As a final, the camera is yours, so you can talk freely about the next projects that people wanted to be on. Yes, knowing, but also gave an advice of words to the new filmmakers, the people that want to create his art and get inspired for all your work.
Because I'm an agent and we meet so many actors all the time, and there's 3 million actors in Los Angeles. There's almost 200,000 members of the Screen Actors Guild. Only 10% have agents. It's very competitive and very tough. But if you have a dream and you really want to make this happen, you really need to focus on it. And that means working really hard, working out or keeping yourself in shape and not doing drugs, not smoking, not doing any of that, and just really be focused on your career and what you want to do. Get an agent. If you work really hard, you'll get one. And the key thing to being a good actor, you can take classes, you can do all that, but it's when you do a scene, listen to the other actor and look in his eyes and tell him the truth. Look in his eyes and just tell him what it is. And I think that's like the best advice anybody can do, because you want to give an honest performance in whatever you do. And I think that's the key. And if you have a dream, don't give up on it. Try to make it work. And if you have the talent, and talent is very important. A lot of people think they're talented and they're not. But, obviously you have an inkling if you're talented to do this, well, it will work.
Yo, lo que tú quieras decir.
Quiero felicitarte, aplaudirte. ¡Bravo!
Bravo.
Yeah. No, man.
So let me ask you, where is this? Where are you guys at?
We are in Cúcuta, Colombia. It's the border with Venezuela.
Oh, so you're in Colombia?
Yes, Colombia.
Yes.
In the border with what? With where?
With Venezuela. In fact, Venezuela is like a,
that's terrific.
Yes. That's
terrific.
Great. Yes.
Yes.
That's great. And do a lot of people watch the show?
It's crazy because the fan base is growing. Jhon, es que nos pregunta si hay mucha gente que ve el canal, sí.
Sí.
Yes, because, by the way, one of the interviews got like 6,000 views. You know that?
That's
No,
great.
yes, no, Pierre, thank you. Yo no sé qué quieres decir.
No, pues agradecerle que bienvenido sea siempre para las próximas producciones, que para la agencia de él es bienvenido entrevistar a los colegas, también a él, y no, la verdad felicitar por el trabajo y la verdad estamos agradecidos de cumplir un sueño de conocerlo.
Well,
Pierre,
thank you so much for having me on the show.
and your agency, all your actors are welcome
So
here. You are
we're having
always welcome
fun
here.
on the lot. So bye, you guys.
Bye.
And kind of show you everybody here.
Wow.
Say bye.
Bye. Bye.
Terrific. There you go.
Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.
Chao, chao.
Au
Thank you.
revoir. Merci.